here today to talk about Brazil for Muslims and travelers. If you're traveling to Brazil, you might find these hints and traveling advice helpful. So first, the people and their view of Muslims. The people in Brazil are some of the most friendliest people I've ever met. They're very warm and welcoming, and you can become friends with them in an instant. They'll take you out and show you their culture, and they love to meet new people. Their view on Islam is somewhat limited, so they don't know too much except what they hear on the news and media, but they're generally interested in Islam, and they can actually grasp some concepts such as hijab much easier than other cultures, I felt.
Yeah, I think they're already super religious in Christianity, so they understand Islam pretty fast, and there is a big movement on conversions in Brazil. So you can meet people in the street that be like, Assalamu alaikum, and you're like, what, you're Muslim? And you just talk to them, and it's pretty cool.
Next is the activities.
So if you go to Brazil, of course you won't be able to do the whole country unless you have many weeks. But you can split, do north and south. We did the north mainly for surfing. The south is also known for surfing, so it's going to be the next time, inshallah. But in the north, there is, of course, a lot of secluded beaches. You can rent your board or buy a board and go surfing wherever you want. You can rent some buggies to go in the desert, and they take you in different oases and places, especially in the north, Jericoacoara. You can also play foot volley, volleyball on the beach.
All the beach sports, they're like everywhere.
Yeah, they do boxing on the beach as well, yoga, and there's so many things that you can attend. And obviously, if you want to get to know a little bit more about the music and the dancing culture, there is capoeira and samba classes that you can take, especially in Búzios and Rio.
Also, swimming with dolphins. You got to experience some of that.
So there is beaches that are known. It's called, for example, Golfinhos in Pipa. That you can go and just swim with dolphins. And there is the famous Tamal in Porto do Forte, which is a center that takes care of turtles, of the sea
turtle
turtles.
sanctuary.
Yeah, and you can go and see the 4 different kinds.
And swim with them as well too.
Yeah.
Around those beaches.
He was surfing one time, and I was recording, and then I skipped his wave to record turtles that were around him.
Then other activities is to see the famous sites, of course. There's a lot of sites in Rio that you could go and experience and see, going up to the big rock.
Pau de Açúcar.
Yeah, exactly. The Cristo. And the stairs. The colorful stairs.
The colorful stairs, that's in Rio. But the main thing to do in Brazil, and don't skip that, it's just to go out at night on the beach. That there's always a main street in each city where all the families go there and just play foot volley. They have açaí, they sing, they dance, they have
it's a fun environment. It's a really nice atmosphere.
It's a good experience, human experience.
Next, we move on to the food in Brazil.
So, really happy, really glad. I think for us, the experience of food was the best in Brazil, for sure. So many options for people who only eat halal meat
or vegetarians.
You have the most famous dish, which is the feijoada, which is made of rice, beans, and pork. But of course, you can take off the pork or not, depending where. There is also the famous breakfast that is tapioca. We've tried it before. I think it's rice flour, something like that, but it's really dry. It's not this good. It doesn't have a taste.
It wasn't our favorite dish.
For sure not, but they have really good breakfasts. It's more like Occidental breakfast, bread and cheese and jam and butter, and you have cakes. You have a lot of fruits, papaya, pineapple, exotic fruits. So if you like that, like me, coconut, you're gonna enjoy breakfast
and
for sure.
Açaí.
The famous thing is açaí, of course. The surfer, they call it the surfer dish. They go surfing and then they go get açaí, which is made of berries. Really good. You can buy it anywhere in the street. They add fruits and some honey on it and granola. It's really tasty. Of course, there is also the pão de queijo, which is a little bread with cheese.
Yeah.
This is pretty tasty, pretty good. And there is the acarajé.
Acarajé.
It's
more of a street food.
Yeah, it's a street food. It's fried, but it's good to taste sometimes. It's made with shrimps, or you can get it with
just
fish, or with cheese. And the best of all is the mosqueca. It's a dish made of fish or shrimps. You can pick whichever seafood you prefer, and with rice, and it's a stew. They serve you a lot of food, and it's really, really good. So
Don't
a
forget
lot
to
of
also
options.
try the brigadeiro. That's their
Dessert.
desserts dish with chocolate truffle. And their meat is very popular. But since we don't eat meat, the barbecue
The
meat.
churrascaria.
Yeah, that's really popular in Brazil as well. That's probably the most famous thing in Brazil for
Yeah.
Brazilian food.
We looked up for halal churrascarias and there is none, not even in Rio. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But we found one halal restaurant in Rio, by the way, and we'll put it down. I think all the Muslims go there.
All right, so next we're going to talk about the mosques in Brazil. The mosques in the north are very limited. They're kind of rare to find. When you get down to the south to Rio and Sao Paulo,
Center.
you're going to find a lot more masjids there. The first one that's up top is in Natal, is the Mosque of Natal. It's a pretty small, nice little mosque. Then we went down, there's Salvador. In Salvador, you find the Cultural Center Islamico da Bahia. This is also a medium-sized mosque, but really nice people. We actually got to visit that one and had a great time there.
We met them and we talked about how Islam is growing in Salvador, which is the African culture in Brazil. And the mosque is too small now to handle all the Muslims, mashallah, that convert over there, especially with Ramadan coming up. They were freaking out because they don't have space. So, and they have dinner every night during Ramadan.
Yeah,
at
the
the
prayer
masjid.
went all the way outside.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Then you get into Rio de Janeiro, you have the Mezquita de Luz. This is the big one, and we saw people converting inside of there. A big group of people being converted. So
And it's
it was
a big mosque
great experience
with
for us
the minaret
with the minaret.
and everything, so you see it pretty well.
Mhm. Then when you go down to Sao Paulo, they have the Mezquita Brazil. This is the big one that's in the center of Brazil. You pass by it all the time. You have the Santo Amaro Mosque. That's also another big mosque, and the one I cannot pronounce, Associação Religiosa Beneficente Islamica do Brasil. It's another big mosque.
Horrible.
And they have a lot more smaller mosques in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, there's I think the
Big
biggest
population.
The biggest Muslim population is in Sao Paulo, actually. So security. Next question. A lot of people would tell us, oh, but what about the security in Brazil? Brazil is safe if you are aware of the danger. So there is obviously some neighborhoods that are more dangerous than others. Of course, you won't walk in the street with your GoPro, your camera, your drone in your hand.
Or especially in a favela.
Because you're pushing someone to rob you. So as long as you're aware of that and you be careful, like when we were going to the beach, we weren't taking anything, neither a phone, neither the drone, neither the GoPro, just because we know that there is a lot of robbery on the beach. So as long as you avoid that and you don't go out really late at night in favelas or really
dangerous
areas, you're fine. Brazilians are really nice. There is cops everywhere, by the way. We had a really good experience with the cops in Brazil. I know some of them are corrupted. Brazilian friends, we hear you.
Yeah, so contrary to our Brazilian friends who said be careful with the cops and...
But we did have really great experience with them. They were the nicest cops in South America for us, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But so security is good as long as you're aware and you be careful.
Just be careful.
That's it.
And I would like to say also in like the Sao Paulo area, if you are a hijabi there, sometimes you're actually protected by the people. They see you and they want to protect you.
That's true.
It's a culture that they have there to protect the Muslims. The Muslims protect the Muslims.
Yeah.
So you go into these dangerous areas and they'll actually protect you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of converts in the favelas, so a plus for Muslims.
Next is way to travel.
Yeah.
Alright, so the best way to travel, actually there is no best way to travel because Brazil is so huge.
Yeah.
The way that we traveled, we rented a car and just went all the way down the coast. That
50
could be
hours.
50 hours going from
50.
Fortaleza down to Sao Paulo. So yeah, that's
Lots of drive.
That's a lot of driving. A lot of people will opt for airplanes, which will be more expensive, of course. Then you have the night buses, which I hate, but you might enjoy that.
But
So
they have
those are
good-
the main three ways to travel.
Yeah, they have good buses. I've taken it before when I was in the south. I traveled by bus only in South Brazil. It was really good, really safe. Planes are really expensive, as he said. So make sure to book your flights ahead to get cheaper tickets.
Next, where to sleep?
So, where to sleep? We have really good experience with hotels in Brazil. So we slept in one or two hostels in the north in Pipa, I think.
In Pipa.
But it's mainly hotels, and it's really good price. It's usually between $20 to $30 for both of us, with breakfast included. You get a buffet breakfast.
Hey.
So you can really eat well in the morning and then just have one more meal later in the afternoon.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's the best way to travel when you're on a budget. So make sure we use Booking, regular websites. We found really good hotels, sometimes 3-4 stars, especially in Bahia, Salvador. You get a pool on the top of the roof, view on the ocean and everything for like $28 for both of us. So really good deals in Brazil. Just be mindful and aware that I don't know what happened in Sao Paulo when we were booking hotels. It was actually Love Hotels. So we went to the first one. They serve you breakfast in bed, basically. That was pretty cool. But I didn't.
They have a little like two-way door that they put the breakfast in, and you could just pull it out.
But I didn't feel really comfortable about Love Hotels, so we booked another hotel in Sao Paulo. And when we went to the other hotel, same thing.
It ended up being a Love Hotel as well.
So I don't know what's going on with Sao Paulo. That was just in Sao Paulo. So maybe just read the reviews or something if you don't want to sleep in Love Hotels. But it was really clean, really respectful. Didn't see anything weird.
Yeah.
So just so you know, it's not also horrible to sleep in Love Hotels.
But a funny experience.
Yeah, it was for sure fun.
So have fun when you visit Brazil. Leave us your own comments and tips and advice.
Let us know if you went there, and next time it's gonna be the south.
Yeah.
For him, inshallah. All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.